Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, April Martinez and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I am Isani Caetano.
And I'm April Martinez. Good morning, Belize.
Good morning,
Good
April.
morning, Isani.
It is Monday.
It is September
1st. Yes, official back to school. But before we get into any other conversations regarding that, here is our show overview for today. Safeguarding our national borders with the Ministry of Immigration. That's the first topic. And then we'll be highlighting regional cultural exchange with Carifesta, followed by Francis Reneau bringing timeless R&B tunes to concert here in Belize.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, education meets entertainment through Belizean word search adventure.
Wonderful.
Those are our topics for this morning. Once again, good morning, April.
Good morning, Isani, and of course, good morning to our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is September 1st.
Yes.
Drop heavy power Monday. And with that said, there is, of course, the official jump start to our September celebrations here in Belize. And so there's a lot to unpack, there's a lot to discuss. And so before we get into that, here are 5 things that you need to know before you leave your home this morning. And of course, we're going to be kicking things off with the Road to Carnival 2025 kicks off with Mass Camp this week. And of course, we always cover the Mass Camp here on Greater Belize Media, so you're going to be seeing a lot of the events taking place in our newscast tonight throughout the course of the week. Secondly, Belmopan businessman is shot and killed in a domestic dispute. Lord Ashcroft Conference Center is inaugurated in Belize City. That took place over the course of the weekend. And also something that is taking place throughout the course of the weekend and throughout this week is that China's President Xi Jinping hosts a security summit in Beijing, and that's looking to bring across certain world leaders. We're going to have a discussion about that. And lastly, Belize participates in digital innovation and cultural regional meetings in Antigua, Guatemala. So there's a lot happening this weekend and this week, Isani.
Yes. So, first things first.
Yes.
No pun intended, it being September 1st. It's the official kickoff of the September celebrations. And as we speak, the roundabout at Freetown Road has been locked off for vehicular traffic because there's the flag raising, right? And this kicks off for us the month of September, which is our national celebrations, right? And as you mentioned earlier, April, it's Mass Camp Week.
It's Mass Camp
right?
Week.
So for the next few evenings, we will be joining the various mass camps as the revelers prepare for the road march come Saturday. And what we intend to do, similar to what we did last year, we will join the mass camps during the newscast, right? So that when our viewers are watching, we also give them that as a highlight
live
of what's
coverage.
taking place. Yes. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. We already have teams assigned to the various camps, and so that's going to be taking place over the course of the next couple of days. And man, I was mulling over this the entire weekend. So I have the job now of doing Juve.
Oh, you would do it. You know what?
And here's a
We
funny
gotta
thing,
moderate
right?
it because I'm excited to see that.
I've done Juve several times before, but in my mind I was thinking it's so far behind me,
Yeah.
right? So now I end up having to do Juve. it'll be something interesting for me because I'm a Friday night person.
Yeah.
So Friday night into Saturday,
Saturday morning.
we'll see how that.
Well, we'll find out because then you guys are also covering Carnival
Yes, yes.
as well.
I won't be a part of the actual Carnival coverage, which spares me
Gives you a little,
the
get time to
exhaustion.
rest, yes.
But like I said, I'm a Friday night person, so it's almost as if though I'm going to be holding a vigil.
I have to, I have to say that ever since I've been diligently watching the coverage of the Mass Camp and of course Juve and Carnival through News 5, I've gained a newfound respect for the persons that participate in these events because one, it's
the persons as in the revelers, or the
revelers,
technical
the
aspects of
organizers,
coverage?
everybody that's involved because it. From the outsider, the viewer, you're just seeing pretty colors taking forth, right? You're seeing this this wonderful event taking place, and that be Carnival and so forth. But as somebody that's looking at all of the technical work that goes behind it, I am one. Kudos to everybody that organizes these events and partakes because it is a lot of work. It is an investment to bring this event to life. You are going to be doing Juve and then you get to rest, but some of them are doing Juve and have to Carnival
so
afterwards.
There's no rest
that
for the
is
wicked,
insane.
right? So,
yes.
And the spirit of Carnival is all about being a part of that energy and what have you.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here and I'm hearkening back to my first ever Juve coverage. Man, wow. Mad years ago, right? But in my mind, April, I did not at the time think that, you know, despite the fact that it's all about mud, paint, and water, that I would have been brought into it all, right? So I was like, providing coverage from a safe distance. And I remember my friend Doc Pollard comes with a handful of paint. But silly me, right? Because I wasn't dressed, prepared to be a part of it. I put on my nicely fancy shirt and my shoes and my...
You were a reporter.
And then I just got smattered with paint. And I couldn't get angry, right? This was one of them things where I just started laughing at myself. Silly me, right? Like I should have known better.
You would have been part of the experience.
Especially when they see someone with a camera and a microphone, they want to, you know?
Include you.
And so it's with that spirit that I come into this once again after so long, right? But if you have participated in a Juve before,
never.
the energy, so early in the morning, right? This is like a pre-dawn attack, I describe it as, right? Rum, water, paint, you name it, and loud music. And I have a neighbor of mine who for the past several years has participated in the Juve with his sound system and a flatbed truck and what have you. And I kid you not, from 3 a.m. he starts playing, because they're setting up the speakers and what have you. So from 3 a.m. he starts playing what I would describe as the Carnival song of the year, right? So last year, man, I was trying to get some sleep, and then he just kicks off with the song with Ben Right Over. And that stuck in my mind the whole day.
And it's gonna well, you're not gonna be there this time because you're on the out there, so you have to be out there and participate.
When they kick up from that end, I'm gonna be joining them. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be an experience.
I'm looking forward to seeing the coverage. I recall I have this vivid mind of this image, of Paul in my head, where when he covered it,
did a couple years
but he was completely from head to toe, just drenched in paint and mud and water. And he said it's like this is part of being in the experience.
No, the thing is, though, I don't know if I got any work clothes.
You have to go find some. You have to go dig deep. You have to go find some.
I'll go thrift shopping this week so that I find something that I won't need.
You don't know what them people were used to use like then the old T-shirt and stuff for like clean your vehicle. I'm sure you have something somewhere.
I don't. But anyway, let's move on, right?
Yes.
So that's the first conversation. On Friday, there was the inauguration of the Lord Michael Ashcroft Convention and Conference Center here in Belize City. Now, if you've been to the Fort George area, there's a lot of work taking place there, right? What used to be the old Radisson Fort George has since been demolished, and they're building over brand new.
Yes.
So it's no longer the Radisson, it's simply just the Fort George, right? So they've completed one building on the other side, on one side of Cork Street, which has a tree house and
Right.
the other amenities and what have you. On the other side of Cork Street is this conference center. And in our line of work, in my line of work certainly, I've been to many places where you have people who gather for seminars and so on and so forth, right? So people use BIM, people use UWI. Very recently, they've been using the Grand Resort, which also has a facility for that kind of thing. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, nothing tops this one.
No, I think that, and I'm really glad you brought this up, Isani, because something that has been happening a lot recently, and where this kind of comes to my line of work, right, where we bring in a lot of international and foreign personnel together to talk about research, to talk about innovation, to talk about any sort of line item, and you need to have a place where you congregate, and a wonderful place that has certain amenities that you can offer, you can rent out or what have not, and it's difficult to find sometimes, right? You want to be able to have a space that is large enough to fit a crowd. I know for a long time we would use places like the Biltmore and other places and other conference centers, and so the fact that we have another space and a beautiful space at that can host these sort of events, it kind of shows that we're propelling into that sort of era where we're noticing more and more that we're gathering, we're bringing in more people, we're bringing in very important people into the country as well.
Fair enough, but beyond that, it's the design that went into this particular space.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
That accommodates for any kind of event, right? Weddings, do you want to have a cocktail event, for instance, and this is beyond just, you know, having a seminar or a training or what have you. It's a multi-purpose space, right? But like I said, the design that went into this, you know, it's a very interactive space, right? And so that was Friday.
I thought you and Sabrina hosting the event.
Yes, Sabrina and I, you know, we did a little thing there.
No, I don't look good.
But you know, I'm glad to see this kind of development in Belize City. I go back to what I started off with this particular conversation, where you look at the seafront and the transformation of everything from the Baron Bliss Lighthouse all the way down to by Luca, and you look at everything that's been taking place there. You know, we have a very, very vibrant Belize City seafront, right?
It's a beautiful strip.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm looking forward to see how we utilize that space. And then my last point that I really wanted to talk about this morning was that the security summit that is being hosted in Beijing, and that's more on the international front. And our viewers might be wondering, well, why are we having this discussion about it? You would know that Isani recently, I believe it was on Friday, that we brought up the tariff situation. The U.S. has been striking up back certain efforts to tax smaller countries, of course, us as a Belizean CARICOM nation.
Well, not just smaller countries,
but
countries
everywhere
that do business with the United States.
Yeah, everywhere. But I specifically reined in on us because it definitely tampers with the business that we do here, particularly our small business. I saw some of the interviews that we did with some of our small business owners and how they would be, you know, getting affected by these tariffs. And so this particular 2-day security summit that is taking place in Beijing, with seeing world leaders from India, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, Vietnam, even North Korea. And we've never necessarily seen all of these leaders gather in one place, and it's just
but these are
just certain
the
theories.
Countries that you've named or listed just now aren't, in my opinion, the countries with the closest ties to the United States either. I mean, I think that's very apparent.
Indeed. But it's kind of to showcase perhaps they're seeing themselves as you know, we're looking at this tariff situation that's taking place, certain countries that are getting affected. China is a big superpower. Russia, that is also another big superpower. And coming together to have these bilateral meetings, I think it is important that we take certain aspects of it, because eventually it could affect us.
Yeah. So that's one conversation, and that's one issue that we're also looking at. You mentioned earlier the fact that we spoke with a couple small business owners in Belize who stand to be adversely affected by this, particularly where it comes to shipping small items out of the country, right? There is this, I'd call it like an arrangement,
Right.
where a lot of small businesses the world over would have benefited from this, right? It's called the de minimis, right?
Yes.
That has since been removed in a sense, and tariffs apply across the board. So it's just a matter of, for some business owners, getting used to it, right? So that's one conversation. Our final conversation is tragic news coming out of Belmopan over the weekend, where a business owner was shot and killed by his niece, I'm understanding, right? In a situation where there was a quarrel or an altercation amongst members of the family, and the individual was fatally wounded.
Yeah, so I believe that we have a lot more investigation on this particular matter. From what we have been told so far, it seems that he was having a domestic dispute, well, not even a domestic dispute, an argument per se, with, I guess, his mother-in-law, his niece's mother. And I can't tell you the details. I'm not entirely sure of the details, how it kind of just went from 0 to 100 and where he ended up shot in the heart and killed instantly. Yeah. And of course, lastly, just to kind of touch briefly on these topics and just to get everybody abreast with the conversations that are taking place, particularly in the ways that Belize is being at the forefront of certain regional and international meetings and topics. Belize had the pleasure to be in Antigua, Guatemala over the course of last week to be a part of what they're calling a Digital Innovation and Heritage Regional Meeting. And that meeting was saw players like Mexico and Guatemala, Dominican Republic, and other nations within Central America. And the topic really was to discuss how we are not necessarily combating, but how we can utilize artificial intelligence in this field of the orange economy, in the field of the creative and cultural sector, because we're looking at things like regional cultural rights policies for creatives, how perhaps maybe an AI painting can look like a Pen Cayetano painting and somebody can pass it off as theirs, and of course that strips away the credit of the artist. So that sort of conversation that was taking place, how we can safeguard authentic cultural heritage manifestations to not make it be artificially, I guess, morphed within the IT space.
Man, you sound very technical.
I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I come back from all them places. Basically, to make the not teeth your intelligence on through AI, and that's kind of what it was. And how do we do that, right? We're in a space where there are no rules, right? How are you supposed to be able to save, that T-shirt where you wear that come from, I don't know, some cultural space, and you take a picture of it, somebody take that design, use it as theirs. How are you supposed to work with that? How are you supposed to do anything about that?
I think what you're alluding to is intellectual property.
Yes.
It's material that is perhaps authentic to one group of people or what have you, and being able to protect that against the use of AI, where you could simply just imitate something and then brand it or pass it off as something that is actually original.
It's not even our voices can be altered in AI. I'm
well, I don't know how that affects the orange economy and the orange space.
It does, because what about music? Right?
Not my voice.
Yeah, well, yeah. So but that was what the conversation was about, and I thought it to be so interesting, because when we're thinking about digital innovation and getting into this era of technology, we have to also kind of be ethical with it, and how are you supposed to do that, right? So that was definitely something that I saw to be quite interesting. And I also thought that Belize being a part of that conversation was definitely important. So these are the 5 topics that we thought you needed to know. Let us know in the comment section below if you have any comments on any of these topics, or if there is a topic that you thought worth mentioning, also let us know in the comment section below. We also have a weather update brought to you by the folks at the National Meteorological Service.
And our weather, courtesy of the National Met Service, goes as follows. Today's forecast calls for mostly sunny skies. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy to clear, and shower activities will be isolated. The temperatures along the coast is going to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Inland is going to be 96 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the hills, it's going to be 84 degrees and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, respectively. The extended forecast for Tuesday calls for 90 degrees along the coast, 96 degrees inland. For Wednesday, it's going to be the same. It's going to be 90 degrees along the coast and 96 degrees inland. On Thursday, it drops by 1 degree inland, where it's going to be 95 degrees, but along the coast, it remains the same at 90 degrees. And on Friday, wow, it's also the same thing. So we're looking at 90 degrees along the coast and 96 degrees inland. Pretty consistent weather, right? The astronomical forecast, the sun rose at 5:38 a.m. today. It's going to set at 6:06 p.m. this evening. The moon rises at 1:33 p.m. and it will set at 12:37 a.m. tomorrow morning. All right, so that's your web service. April?
All right, thank you, Isani. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, it's more Open Your Eyes. We'll be having a conversation with the Ministry of Immigration on guarding our national borders.
For 13 years, Belize Bank has helped students rise with full scholarships for high school and sixth form. 100 high schoolers supported for 4 full years. 58 sixth formers given the boost they need to go further.
In Belize, the Belize Bank believes that education is the most powerful investment we can make in our youth.
It's more than financial aid. It's mentorship, supplies, and a commitment to Belize's future. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Bringing people together.
This September, the music gets louder, the costumes get brighter, and the streets of Belize explode. Color and culture. Greater Belize Media brings you the ultimate carnival experience from lineup to last lap. Join our live coverage on Saturday, September 6th, starting at 1 p.m. from Memorial Park all the way to Marion Jones Stadium. Carnival 2025 marks 50 years of rhythm, resistance, and revelry, and we will bring it to you every step of the way, from lineup to last lap. Carnival 2025 on Greater Belize Media. See you there. See you there.
This is the new era of the Mexican Caribbean. A whole spectrum of colors and hues, multi-dimensional cuisine, holographic beaches. The true new era is within you.
All right, welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Our first conversation is with the Ministry of Immigration, and they are going to be talking to us about their awareness campaign. Yes, and joining us on the couch we have Miss Dana Blades, and she is the director at the Nationality and Passport Department. Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
And joining her, she has Terrell Green. He's also a clerk over at the Nationality and Passport Department. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're happy to have you. And of course, this conversation is all about a public awareness campaign and spotlighting the major improvements and innovations designed to better serve the people of Belize. Now, I want to start with you, Director, just because it is mostly about passport applications, how you're better to serve us, what are making it better for us online, hopefully, I'm seeing. But let's talk about the campaign itself and what we should be aware of.
So we want to go out and make it public and known, people to know what we are doing at the Ministry of Immigration. It's not only the Passport Department, but the Ministry of Immigration, because we became aware that there are so many things that we are doing internally that the people of Belize are not aware of. And the more you are aware, the better informed you are, especially when you come to our department and you're approaching us for the various services. We want them to be informed.
So what are some of the key points that we should be taking away from this awareness campaign?
So today actually we're launching the elimination of the recommender from the application process. As you all know, that was an integral part of the application. Yeah. And we have received numerous times, it becomes a little bit burdensome because remember, we don't only have people here in Belize, we have people in the diaspora. And especially those in the diaspora, it was an outcry because finding a Belizean that you've known for this amount of time sometimes became a little bit tedious. There were times it was a subject of fraud. So we decided, let's revamp the process.
Yeah.
We did not do it without ensuring that there are other procedures to safeguard the security and the integrity of our passports. So as of today, there's no need for you to fill out that section 7, which is the recommended section of the application process. What we have put in place is the integration of the Vital Statistics Unit database. Okay. So now we have that online verification. You know, when you're bringing in that birth certificate, we used to do a physical examination of that paper. And sometimes it was not to our benefit because bad actors are out there and they know how to defraud the system. Now we're not only relying on that, we can rely now on the source, the database that has all the information. We're also integrating Social Security into our process. We're in the testing phase of that. We've also invested, I call it the investigative tool of the passport system. It's an automatic biometric information system whereby that's able to detect and compare your biometrics, meaning your facial recognition and your fingerprints, because you know our fingerprints are unique. Yes. So we've migrated the old passport system with the ePix passport. So now we have all that data that we're making a comparison with.
Some would say that a move like this should have taken place a long time, perhaps in line with similar decisions and implementations from other countries Would you say that perhaps something like this should have been long in the making?
I think it came when we were prepared to do it. I mean, yes, and like you said, the other countries in the region may have been a little bit ahead of us, and that was why we were comfortable making this decision, because we looked around at what was happening in the region.
I really wanted to go back to you saying you're eliminating certain aspects of the application process. Now with this innovative process, things happening online and so forth, what are certain steps that somebody like myself that would need to perhaps renew my passport? What would I have to do?
I will have our supervisor from Belize City go through that process with you.
Let's
All right, so if you are renewing your current passport, the first step is to go on the website and set an appointment. The website, immigration.gov.bz. Set the appointment. That will tell you the time and date of your appointment. Keep in mind, when you set that appointment, you may say set an appointment for 8 a.m. However, there are 4 other persons with that same time, because we need to accommodate as much as we can within a 9-hour period.
Right.
So you set that appointment, and when you come in for your appointment, you will bring your old passport. You will bring 1 passport size photo and a complete application form. Because we no longer need a recommender, so that takes that hassle away from the application process. And within 10 business days, you will receive your new e-passport.
Nice. Do I still need like a JP to sign my
No,
photo?
that is what we're saying. We don't need that anymore. That process has been completely eliminated. And some people still think that you need a $1.50 stamp for the passport application.
I may have just asked that question.
We have passed that far along since needing that stamp, so we are moving forward.
I think this speaks to the ease of being able to go through this process now, right?
Yes.
As you said earlier, Director, it may have been very tedious and time-consuming for some, being able to identify someone who can vouch for you in a sense,
Yes.
and then go to a JP to have that signature, and then go and purchase a stamp.
Yes.
It's a very cumbersome process if you look at it from that point of view, and this certainly makes it a whole lot more easier.
Yeah.
Exactly. And signaling what you just said, that is why we're doing the campaign, because we realize that a lot of persons are not even aware with the requirements, because you keep speaking of a justice of the peace. We've eliminated a justice of the peace from the system about a year and a half ago, and people don't even know that.
I renewed my passport like 5 years ago, so yeah, we can leave it at grace. But and that's why I asked the question, because for some of us that don't have to renew our passport for like the next 5 years or so, this is something that's going to be an ongoing campaign, I would imagine.
Yes.
But speak to me about how you plan to roll out something like this in rural areas that perhaps might not have the technology.
Well, in the past, I believe a year and a half, we have been going to rural areas and offering our services to them, taking what we offer directly within the communities, and it has been received very great. Again, removing off the recommenders portion makes it easier. So we in the past 2 that we did recently, we already start practicing that and having the recommenders portion removed. So you don't need anyone else to support you as a Belizean applying for a passport.
You still have to go to the offices in Belmopan and Belize City to do the actual...
No, when we go to these areas, we take electronic version of everything with us to these rural areas. So with your biometrics, you take your picture. The only thing that you will have to do is to pick up the passport at the office, more convenient to you.
So we have district offices from the north to the south, Corozal, Rindra, Belize City, even San Pedro and Punta Gorda. And we do have what is called a mobile system. And it is that mobile system that gives us the capability to go. I mean, we've been in some of the most remote areas of this country. And why? Because we want to ensure that every Belizean has a similar opportunity to access a passport. I mean, a passport is a very important document.
I'm so glad
It's
you said
arguably
that.
the most important
Is.
document.
Well, it is.
So I recently, and I think this is where my ignorance comes in a lot, where I've met people outside of Belize that they don't have a passport. They travel around with like an ID or their driver's license, and that's how they get around. But I don't know if there was ever a time in my life that I've never had a passport.
Right.
And I think that Belize, we actively think of this as the document next to our social security card. We have our passport. And so do we have a large population, of Belizeans that have their passport?
Records have shown, and our numbers are growing. 45,000 got passports just last year. That speaks for itself. And you must remember also that we even went internationally. So not only are we locally advocating for people to get this document, it's an identity document, and we all need it. So we went to LA, we were in New York, we were in Miami as well. And remember, we have missions, Taiwan, Chicago, LA, Florida, and New York. So there's a lot of opportunities for the Belizeans, and London, a lot of opportunities for Belizeans in the diaspora to obtain that document, the passport.
That's pretty interesting. I recently recall my sister that she had to come, and she chose Christmas time to come and do her whole passport thing, because where she's at, there isn't a mission, right? But that serves a good purpose for dual citizens, people that have dual citizenship, and so on. Do we see that many people in diaspora are taking this opportunity?
Last year when we went to LA and New York, it was overwhelming, the amount of Belizeans. And it's only because they didn't have the access, or maybe they weren't knowledgeable about how to go about acquiring that nationality for their kids. We got thousands of people, and it was an overwhelming experience both for us. We sat there and watched people tear because of the possibility of now getting that passport.
There's an argument that could be had where we're saying that perhaps there are as many Belizeans outside of Belize as there are Belizeans here at home.
Yes.
So when you go into the diaspora and you take on these kinds of activities and what have you, you wouldn't be surprised of the turnout, because every time you talk to people, they're in Chicago, they're in LA, they're in Miami, they're in New York, or and I would want to think that indeed it should be taken advantage of, because if you have kids in the United States and you want them to have their Belizean nationality as well, then it would have been the best opportunity for you to show up and have all your documents and everything and go through the process.
And ever since our return, there has been an outcry for more, for more and more. But availability, the team, they work endless hours. And I really do want to thank them, because when we are out there, you should see the impact. They feel it, we feel it, and we love it.
So no more large lines outside of the immigration building for their appointments.
No.
I work really close to the immigration department, and every time I pass, I say, man, I'm so happy.
Since implementing the appointment schedule, I alleviate that completely.
So how do I go about doing that, creating an appointment?
Well, you go on the website, which is www.immigration.gov.bz. And the first thing as you open that website, it will say set an appointment. A calendar pops up, you select the date, and then the time showing the available time for that date. Select whatever is most convenient to you, and you will receive an email of your confirmation of that appointment.
Awesome. And gone are the days where I have to go to the office and get a physical application.
Right.
Gone are the days.
Forms are on our website under the Forms tab.
This is a proud moment indeed, right? But I'm sitting here thinking, man, I had to go through this entire process about a year and a half or 2 years ago.
I know. I didn't think about it too.
What didn't happen then, right?
But it's not to think about it. It was because of those instances that made us make these improvements. Even the appointment system is being revamped. We're now putting kiosks, because like Mr. Green highlighted earlier, there are more than one person. So when you come in, you put your number, so you know when it's your turn to go and access the service. We have a whole customer service unit now, because customer service is important to us. We listen. We listen to the cries, and we try to see how we can make adjustment to improve our system. So we're even implementing what we call a fresh desk. So when you have your queries and your concern, it goes to the customer service unit. They pay attention to what the concern is and what the request is, and they push it to the appropriate person. If that person does not respond, it goes up the chain of command, because someone has to answer that request. And that holds us accountable.
I want to go back to one of the points that you mentioned earlier about partnering with Vital Stats and getting that information. Can you give us a little bit more detail about that?
So we access it's called a data dump. We get it every month. So whoever goes and register, we have all that information in our system. And of course, it's a very sensitive, because what we do is sensitive. We hold people information. So we try not to give out too much information, because the more people know, the more bad actors would want to abuse the system.
And so here is a question that I think a lot of our dual citizens have, and I asked that in my own capacity. For those of us that don't have a birth certificate but have a naturalized paper or a nationalized paper, same thing.
Same thing. In the immigration department, I say we are the custodian of all nationalities, because we are the ones that reviews the application. The minister is the one that approves the nationalities. So if you have that document, that means that we have a database.
Okay.
So now when you apply, even if you're national, you got Belizean through nationality, we have a database at our fingertips where we can go and verify that nationality. So we don't have to even rely on the paper document that you are bringing, because we have digitized it and we have it at our fingertips.
So here's my question, right? So earlier this year, the government floated the idea of a national ID, right? Which will become the document, or that particular card, for instance, that says who you are, where you're from. It has all of your information. How does the immigration department factor into this move?
So, of course, we will play an integral part of that, and it's because of our systems that we have what we call an API. We will be able to coordinate with all the other ministries and all the other departments. So there will be some data sharing.
What would be the purpose of that ID, though?
So that you can only have one ID.
Yes. So can I use that for in the stead of my passport, in the stead of my social security?
I think that would be an option for the user.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was also wondering that same thing. But so for our viewers and for this awareness campaign, you're starting here at Open Your Eyes. Where else would you be able to find more information?
On the website. We have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page, Ministry of Immigration. It's very active. So
we even have, I'm so sorry, we even have Mondays where today's the information day. Every Monday we put out a new information. I think last week was the data capture. What to expect when you're coming to take the photograph for the passport.
Okay. I think for somebody that perhaps might not be as tech savvy, your grandparents, for instance, and so on, is there kind of like a tutorial per se that they can look at to see what they can expect when they're creating this appointment and getting this new passport?
So all the information is online. We don't have another platform as yet, but these are the things that we're taking into consideration, because we want to make sure that the service is accessible to every single person.
So just for the benefit of our viewers, just one more time, this campaign and where can we see you? So what's the purpose and how can they benefit from this?
The campaign is to build public awareness. We want them to know, one, the services that we provide, how to access the services, and more importantly, the requirements, because a lot of times I believe that people are not properly informed, so when they visit the office, they are not prepared. And that causes frustration on both ends, both on the customer end and both on our end. And we want to ensure that those persons that are accessing our service leave with a pleasant experience. So the more information that we put out there, we believe the better informed they are, the better prepared they are when they come into the office.
Okay.
I'm glad that, again, for me, the biggest takeaway is that there are no longer these long, never-ending lines. You could do business from Corozal without having to come into Belize City or from Punta Gorda and so on and so forth.
No, there's no longer that line. We do have some updates that we will be embarking on pretty soon. We do know that a lot of people in our country don't use cash anymore, so we'll be doing the online payment. That will be a rollout that you all will be soon seeing. We have always gotten these requests for the status of my passport. Is it ready? So we responded to that. You'll soon be getting an alert that your passport is ready for pickup, because people complain about getting into the ministry and they can't get hold of someone to find out the status of their passport. So we'll be launching that too, where you'll be prompted that, you know what, the passport is ready for pickup. And you tapped on something, and this is just a little teaser because we're working very hard on it. Pretty soon you all might be seeing online application. That's just a little teaser for today.
That's good. That's
Yes,
good.
a lot.
I've
a
become
lot.
very reliant on not having to leave my home.
Yes.
And so this is all wonderful news coming out of the Immigration Department. Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
of course, final words for our viewers as we wrap up this conversation.
Sure, I will take the opportunity, if you don't mind. I would like to send some shout out to our minister for supporting, because all these things can't happen if we don't have the support of our minister. Our CEO, Tanya Santos, I mean, she's a wonderful leader, reasonable, reliant, responsive, and very visionary. Without her support, we won't be able to have any of these successes. And also to the staff of the Nationality and Passport, who works diligently, hours, weekends, the sacrifices away from their family. We want them to know that we do appreciate you, and without you all as a team, we would not be able to have these successes to tell the people of Belize this morning.
Wonderful. With that said, we have a motivational moment for you all before we cut to break. And the motivational moment for today is by Paulo Coelho. Coelho? Yes. And the world is changed by your example, not your opinion. The world is changed by your example, not your opinion. Thoughts on that?
I love that quote.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we speak but we don't act.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people are watching. Whether we know it or not, or whether we are aware, people are out there watching and paying attention.
We're so very opinionated and very seldom action oriented.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? Dana, Tyrrell, thank you all so much for joining us this morning, and we look forward to seeing this new rollout in the passport department.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
We go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be highlighting the regional cultural exchange at Carifesta. Don't go away. We'll be highlighting the regional cultural exchange at Carifesta. Don't go away.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
This September, the music gets louder, the costumes get brighter, and the streets of Belize explode. Color and culture. Greater Belize Media brings you the ultimate carnival experience, from lineup to last lap. Join our live coverage on Saturday, September 6th, starting at 1 p.m. from Memorial Park all the way to Marion Jones Stadium. Carnival 2025 marks 50 years of rhythm, resistance, and revelry, and we will bring it to you every step of the way, from lineup to last lap. Carnival 2025 on Greater Belize Media. See you there. See you there.
Alright, when the one fun the hand, the window open and the light may turn off. It look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard here.
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV for BL ad, you know.
Yes man, they don't reach the man better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The AMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Welcome back. Our second conversation this morning is all about Carifesta and Belize's involvement in this year's exchange. We have with us the director of the Institute of Culture, Creative Arts, my apology, Kim Vasquez, and she's joined by fashion designer Reneau R&B. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
You're fresh from Barbados, right?
Yes.
What was that experience like being part of Carifesta, Reneau?
It was refreshing, I should say. It's, well, we all know Carifesta, it's one of, not the biggest festival for the arts and culture. It's my first time attending it, part of the contingency under the fashion department, where Emilio, Xenia, and myself showcased our work. It was the first time for me doing an entire resort collection. So it was a lot of firsts for me. Great experience.
Were you prepared for what you were embarking on in terms of getting to Barbados and seeing all of this culture come alive?
Well, I have done several fashion-related travels, but this one was definitely something that took a longer time to get ready for. Like I said, it was the first time doing a resort collection. But what I wanted was to showcase a little bit of everything Belize has to offer. So it took a lot of research on my part, on partnerships with other creatives and artisans from around the country to make this whole collection come to life. But again, it was a learning experience.
Kim, when was the last time Belize participated in Carifesta?
Well, the last one was 2019, just before COVID. Wow. And then, normally it's every 2 years, but then, with COVID, it took a while to come back. So it was last hosted by Trinidad, and then now it was hosted this year by Barbados, who embarked on a very ambitious program because they felt the need to bring Carifesta back big, on a large scale. It is definitely, for me, over my years at Niche, to me, one of the most visible Carifesta. And I say that because, again, where we are now, 2025, everything is live stream, everything is real. You have so many of us as creatives are also content creators. So you had all of the microblogging, and it was just like a bombardment.
You couldn't escape it.
You could not escape it, and that's all of the countries from the region. As I said, everybody putting out their content, everybody sharing. And that's just the way it was on the ground as well. The grand market, the architecture of that structure was beautiful, really impressive. It had its own pavilion for fashion where Reneau and Emilio were. We were so proud of them to be in the audience. I got all emotional seeing them come down, the models come down. Both of them, Emilio and Reneau, took full collections and beautiful. Really, the craftsmanship of their work really stood out, and you heard, I was there in the audience while they were backstage with the models doing their things. You could hear the, oh wow, and that, as I said, that's from the region. Throughout that whole Carifesta, we kept saying to each other, we are one Caribbean. That was kind of like the hashtag. And so when you see Belize up there, and you hear your regional partners going, wow, that's really great work, you feel so encouraged.
I have a curiosity. I don't recall, and maybe I'm wrong, that a Carifesta has ever been held in Belize, or perhaps it has, but so far behind me that I can't remember attending one or being aware of one. Is that something that we're considering somewhere in the near future, perhaps?
We can always consider it, and it was one of the discussions that came up in the heads of delegations, these meetings we would have as a region going into Carifesta, that there are countries that have hosted it more than once. Barbados has hosted more than once. Trinidad and Tobago have hosted more than once. Jamaica has hosted. St. Kitts hosted. Suriname, Haiti has hosted. And so there is every country that hosts it you can look at it as giving focus to that part of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I could feel the strong Eastern Caribbean presence this time. And we saw that with Chico Ramos, with his performance. And you know, then you realize he's huge in the Western Caribbean, he's huge in Central America. But it was like, there were people telling me, we know him, we had heard of him, but it's like we're rediscovering Chico. One of the officers that was assigned to us there, to our delegation, she said, I had heard his name, he said, and I jumped on YouTube and I showed my husband, and they were like, of course we know who Chico Ramos is. But you know, I mean, their response to Punta Rock. You know, even one of the members from the secretariat from CARICOM, she said she was actually in the fashion pavilion watching a fashion show. He said, and when I heard Chico Ramos strike up, he said, I went running. just the rhythm and the music, you know, and people reacting to his songs. I was married to him, you know, neighbors and drums. Those were the 3 hits. And every time he would perform these songs, he did 3 performances, he would get these reactions to his lyrics and the music and even the way the band looked and sounded. It just stood out, and you know, you felt so uniquely Belizean.
I have to ask Reneau and Kim, we often don't see how much work gets done in the orange economy. We kind of just toss the word around, right? But as Belizeans, we don't necessarily get to see or appreciate the work that gets done by our cultural creatives. When you were out there in Carifesta, where do you think we stood on a particular area? Where do you think Belize is when it comes to developing their cultural and creative sector?
Well, as you may know, they have much larger contingents than Belize took. You know, some of them are 100, 150 members in their contingency. But in all of that, within the big booths, we had a booth and we did our best. But one thing I must say, I'm not being biased because I'm Belizean, we had luxury level items. That's one thing I can say. Luxury level items, and you can ask us about every single item that was there. We have a story from the artisans all the way down to our traditional cultural stories that are attached to them. One of the most coolest thing that we saw, people kept on messaging the artisans like Emilio, Galvano, Ziania, hey, what time are you coming? Because I want to buy this. I saw it yesterday. I'm coming back for it. They learn about the Cadejo. They learned about the Jankuno masks. So, as you know, they will have all of these big, elaborate screens and stuff from other countries. A lot of people came back. Kept on coming back to Belize's book. We had Kansham. We teach people about Kansham, Koto Brut, the fudge, and
Sawangla.
Yes, so we had a little bit of. It was cozy.
Yes.
It was very homely, and what I loved was that we shared our stories, and then they're like, "Oh, we do that in our country too," and this is what it named. So we had that interaction all day, every day for the past 9 days.
Still can't believe Carifesta.
It was, and again, it just speaks. Maureen Navarrete sold out. Nothing. She only had her 2 large wall art that she took, and even though those didn't sell, it's like Reneau said, one was Sunantunich, and every time people would come to the booth, that was an opportunity to talk about Sunantunich. The other was a Scarlet Macaw, and it was an opportunity to talk about Belize again. And you know, I was just blown away by the amount of traffic. And you know, we said this, we are a small but powerful delegation, and we are really quite pleased because it's true what Reneau said. Everything we took was well thought out. The Handmade by Belize, we were proud to have that out there as this national level project that Niche has launched to work with artisans, to work with people like Emilio and Zania, and you know, and to have their work out there and people coming and you just seeing them buying, you know, just to watch the money, you know, the transactions happening. And you know, I think some of them, I think Emilio even got orders.
Yes, actually, Ziania and Emilio, they ended up moving from one booth into the more central part, and people kept on coming from big boutiques from different parts of the Caribbean, very interested in the techniques and the story behind each of the bags. Them, but you can't left behind our diaspora. They were super supportive. Looking for us every single day, asking, you know, when is Chico Ramos coming up? When are the fashion designers coming up? They want to be there and support, you know, even if that one Belizean flag is sitting at the crowd, but they are there.
Still there.
Yes. And we need to also highlight Chico and his Caribbean Icon Award. And yes, that first night where he performed his Icons performance, we were so touched by the diaspora being there. And you know how things go in the Caribbean. Some performances gone overboard, so the program went down really late, and they just waited so patiently with their flags and everything, you know, and they were just determined to be there. And as a result of that, what that meant was that, you know, he was invited back for an encore. They said, no, we have to bring him back earlier. And so he did, actually, instead of 2 performances, they did 3. And he really was presented in such a really nice and meaningful way to have his bio read. And that was a new feature for Carifesta, the Caribbean Icon Award. And he was recognized with Jimmy Cliff, with other icons from the region, and you would hear their bios being read, and then you understand that yes, they've done so much here at home, but regionally, what they have given as well.
I think that's the beauty of it. Simply, in a manner of speaking, not waiting till the man dead fit and lie good, right? The regional recognition behind the work that someone like Chico Ramos has put in, as you've mentioned, not only here in Belize, but across the region and the diaspora community as well. My question for you, Ronelli, has to do with perhaps the one takeaway for you from this experience. Was your first Carifesta? What did you walk away with that has perhaps changed the way that you look at the work that you do and the engagement that you have with your customers?
Two major takeaways. Learning and networking from other designers. One thing, when you go to Carifesta, you see so much craft, so much artisanal work, the craftsmanship, the level of it. And you know, now we came back, not just me, we all say, oh, now coming back home, we can do this, we can integrate this, because we do that in our country too. So how can we partner up with more Belizean artisans here? And 2, that we aren't behind. Belize is no way behind in this. All from our music to our craft to the food that we saw out there, we're no way behind. We are like right there, up to par with other Caribbean countries.
As a fashion designer and as somebody that your work kind of takes time, you have to be able to not just make the costume, but you also have to design and so forth. In your line of work, how do you see yourself improving, and how did you see Carifesta helping you to improve?
This year with this collection I was very ambitious. First it being we did a 14-piece collection, and one of the features that the highest highlights was I did a dress out of the saber tree petals.
Wow.
And even getting at the airport, you know, the flag just like we gotta open our bags, and when they saw the dress coming out, then they're like, "This is that whole dress, mommy?" Like, it's a whole dress, and they're like, "How long did it take?" But when we took it there, we had premier designer Anya, and we had Fonel, and we had designer from the Beyonce brand there. Luckily, at the same time we were up for the fashion show, they were getting off the conversation, which happened on the same stage. I'm a big fan of Anya. She was one of the winner of Project Runway. So I took her in the back. I'm like, "Can you see my collection? I want to know what you think." And she saw that one dress with the saber tree, and she was asking so many questions.
That's right there. Yeah, the movement on it.
So much question, and the smell. You could still smell the richness.
That's what I wanted to know, because you took these. So Ziania and Emilio that have smaller, Maureen they have smaller items. You had to take full-blown designs and so forth, and to carry that all the way to Barbados.
Yes, it was. They have to be very careful taking it. But one of the major takeaways of it is that I'm a bridal designer. now that's my breadwinner. But it just showed me that I have the abilities, and just like any other Caribbean designer, to do resorts. Even though our culture might be a bit different, we're not all about beach and the sand and the sun, but I'm still able to use our Belizeanness and put it within that beachwear setting that looks a lot different than what's out there, but still, it has a little bit of us, and we have a story to tell. It's just not just a lot of fabrics and what's not, but it's up to par. That's one of the major takeaways. And
so now you're back.
Yes.
You're feeling energized, or maybe you need some rest. I'm not sure. What's next, Kim?
Just like Ronelli, one of the features I really appreciated, I understand that this was the brainchild of PM Motley, was to have these big conversations, which was a lot of panel discussions and talks. And Ronelli and I actually attended one as well, a symposium, right? She was the only one able to go with me to the symposium that they had on funding culture.
Yeah.
And so behind all of this showcase and the highlighting and the performances and the vibrancy of the Grand Market, there was a lot of meaningful cultural and creative industry development discussions happening. A lot of the heads of delegations, while the performances were happening, we were engaged in these big conversations, as they were called. How do you leverage what we call yard rhythm, which every country have their yard rhythm, right? How do we look at funding culture? And so for me, I come back energized. I come back with a lot of ideas that I have exchanged, and you feed off of that energy. And so we're well, of course, I'm going into September celebration mode. I'm ready for Panyard, right? But definitely it's tired. We're a little tired. We traveled a long time yesterday, but I think we are energized, and if anything, we're ready to do bigger and better things.
All right. As we wrap up our conversation, congratulations on a wonderful rollout at Carifesta. I think I don't think gonna post up all the videos. They're gonna gatekeep
we were so much. Even like I was part of one of the panel discussions.
She was also a panelist. Yes, you forgot to mention that.
Yeah, but it was just a lot happening all at the same time. So there will be videos, there will be more content coming out.
Okay. Final words, Kim?
We're just want to continue to highlight. You nailed it. There's far more content we want to put out, we want to share. We want to really highlight the full impact that Chico had there. We want to look at Handmade by Belize. So we have more to share, but we just really wanted to just come in fresh off the road and share with Belize what we have done out there at Carifesta.
Beautiful. Before I leave you, I have a cultural word of the day, and I know you might get this one, Kim. So the word or the phrase goes like this: never drop the bone for catch the shadow. Reneau is like, what? Never drop the bone for catch the shadow. What do you think?
Sometimes you don't appreciate what you have because you want to be chasing something else, when you should be focusing and enjoying and savoring what you already have.
Okay, that sounds like something Kutchermets would say.
Yes. So Kim, you actually had it. It says, "Don't lose what you have because of greed."
We definitely need to share that one with Andrea.
Yes, never drop the bone for catch the shadow.
There's another English proverb that is in line with that. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Right, there you go. Yeah. Don't lose what you have because of greed for more. So, wonderful takeaway, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and best of luck in your endeavors. All right, we are going to take another quick break, and when we come back, it's all about Belizean word search adventure. Don't go away.
Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is to see if the features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Coming up, the best of Barbados and more at Carifesta 15. International interns enjoy breakthrough opportunities. History with a side of salsa. Yes, we're in San Juan. Community programs in Dominica receive a major boost. The home base with all you can ask for.
It's all next on this station.
Welcome back. We are joined by creator and educator of Blue Hole Books, Mr. Oren Castillo, and he's here to talk to us about the Belizean word search adventure. Good morning, Mr. Castillo.
Good morning. Hi, good morning. Thank you guys for having me. It's nice to be here.
All right. And you also brought the word search adventure book. I love a good word search. I love a good puzzle book, and I'm very excited about this because it's not only just a regular word search book, but it also has stories. It also tells us a little bit about our Belizean cultural and natural heritage. Mr. Oren, why this book?
Just one day I happened to be, surfing YouTube and I saw a tutorial on how to publish books on Amazon. I thought, yeah, I could do that too. And so it just happened to come to me, I don't think I've ever seen a word search that's themed about Belize. So I said, okay, that would be something new. Maybe that should be something I could corner the market in, so to speak. So I came up with the idea and then, just started unfolding, and now I have this product, yeah.
It is interesting because the introduction and the rollout of this book is very timely. It's the month of September, it's National Month where we take pride in being Belizean and what have you. Plus, schools are reopened, so it's a perfectly timed opportunity to introduce this into the schools as well.
So can anybody do this word search? Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I think I could do this, but I'm not sure if like a primary school student can do this.
You never know.
It's true.
I think maybe, from like age 5 up, maybe 3 up, possibly if you're, at whatever age you're learning to read, because I think, it's not so much if you know how to read, it's, looking to see if you see the letters in that particular sequence.
Yeah.
So it's looking for patterns, and young children can find patterns, and anyone up to in their 80s, 90s, whatever age.
Let's take our challenge.
Let's take our challenge.
We have 1 minute
between
April and I to be able to find as many words as possible and you'll be the judge, Oren, right?
Okay.
Let us know when to start.
All right, sure. Go.
All right.
All right.
So I'm also looking at some of these things. Can you talk about the thought process of the storylines behind some of these?
All right, sure. So when I did it, I had in mind different themes. So there's like Creole culture, the Maya temples, the Barrier Reef, which I believe, you guys are doing the Great Blue Hole, right? So after each puzzle on the reverse side of the page, there's a little write-up about that theme, a little educational write-up, because originally my intention for the book was for it to be aimed towards like tourists who would be coming to Belize, and so they could, have a little fun solving the word search puzzles, and also then learn a little bit about our country before they reach here. And that is 1 minute. Stop.
Wait. I only find 4.
I'm at 4. Man, we're tied at 4.
A tie is good. Tie is good.
I found 4. But you know what? It's good. I like I said, I really appreciate a good. So the words that I found, I was doing endangered species. So I found hawksbill, jaguar, nurse shark, and pelican.
I was doing the Great Blue Hole, and I have lighthouse, I have blue, I have mystery, and ocean.
Yeah, and there were others that, well, clearly I couldn't find in time. But
I was cheating all along,
You were cheating?
Because while you were doing the introduction, I was already looking for words, right? And I found a couple of them, but when you started talking, I forgot exactly
where they were. But like I said, I really like the story that goes with the. So if you can just like kind of zoom in a little bit. So there is a story that goes with the word search. And it just is to give you a little bit of a snippet as to what you can expect within the word search itself. I like it because you were already sort of speaking about what's inside the word search. And like you said, you can start to kind of gaze into the puzzle and kind of look at what is in there. But for this particular book, Oren, where can we find it?
So right now it's available on Amazon if you're in the diaspora in the United States, the United Kingdom, wherever abroad. It can be purchased on Amazon. If you're interested currently in Belize, unfortunately it cannot be purchased only by pre-order. That's why I'm looking to see if there's an interest in it, if Belizeans would be interested. I have brought in some before, a small amount, only about 25 for close family and friends, who were interested, who expressed interest, and so I had shipped those in, and they're all sold out already. I just got it last week Thursday, and by the Friday,
sold out.
I'll give it out.
Is this your foray into publishing, or have you done publishing before? Have you been published before? Sorry.
No, that's my first.
Okay.
I'm technically a math and physics teacher. That's my day job.
Nice. And then you got into word search.
Yeah, and then, but I've always had an interest in language arts. From I was in primary school, I entered my primary school spelling bee. So I've always liked that kind of things. And I even at UB while I was there, I took a linguistics course. So I very much love wordplay. So this, it kind of came natural to me that I would do a word search book.
Word search is brain food too. So it's always good to be. I'm someone who I enjoy words and how to use words and stuff like that. So as a child as well, word search on my team. That's on crossword puzzles.
I used to always look for them in the when the newspaper had the word search or the crossword. They
had like a kiddies corner thing in the newspaper,
they did.
Right?
Yes, and so I was definitely into that. But for persons that want to pre-order with you, how can they do that?
Well, they could send me a message on Facebook. And I'll probably take orders by the end of this week, and then put in the order. I usually get it printed by Amazon and then shipped on the truck here, and that usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks.
I really like this. I'm curious to know if you would ever consider putting it in schools.
Initially that wasn't my intention, but a number of persons have told me that would be a good idea, and I think it's a good idea indeed.
Yeah.
So if maybe anybody in the ministry is watching right now, if they see this, definitely I would like for that to be a possibility.
You know why? It would be an excellent opportunity to introduce it to schools. As part of our social studies program, if I thumb through this and I look at, for instance, Creole culture, right? And then I continue and I see the islands. It speaks not only to the geography of the country, but it speaks to the people who make up the country, the nation, right? It speaks to places and stuff like that. I would think that this is a very, very engaging way to teach social studies.
Oh yes, definitely. I'll take it a step further, right? Because I was perusing and I realized, Isani, we could have cheat this whole time.
I wouldn't go to the back of the book.
No. But sir, don't do that. Don't give us the answer. Give us a little bit of a, because you could go to the back of the like every other word search book, right? You go to the back of the page and you find the answers, but that is a form of cheating. But like I said, you could expand this beyond what it actually is. Right?
So maybe if let's say it does happen to roll out in the primary schools, I could maybe remove that and add more puzzles. That's a possibility.
Indeed. But I'm very curious to hear the stories and how you put them together.
Well, I just kind of like brainstorm on the internet like different categories that it could be. So I was thinking like, okay, we have various different districts. So there's a category on the villages. So each district has its own. So there are many various villages in Belize that people have never heard of, like there's Cowpen, San Narciso, all different kinds, Creekosarke, all different kinds of villages with unusual sounding names to some people, who aren't from that district. So that was like one category that came to mind. I thought, okay, we have different ethnic groups in Belize. So we have the Maya, the Mennonite, the Creole, the Garifuna, and so I just started to like brainstorm what are different categories that are like specific to Belize, and so I just compiled a list, put it in alphabetical order, and I came up with like 30 puzzles.
How many San Antonios did you have to put in here?
Because there's multiple different districts, right?
So you've effectively thrown a monkey wrench in my whole day.
Because now all you want to do is cross the puzzle.
And that's the thing. This is so very addictive, at least for me.
That
once I start, I can't leave at least one page undone. Everything has to be. And it's good because, again, there's a story that accompanies each one of these puzzles, right? So being able to read the story and kind of, in my case, refresh myself on some of the history or some of the content that's in here, can't go wrong.
I think like even for us in this line of work, where the fact that you put these villages and the news that we get is based on perhaps what is out there, what is reported to us and so forth. But if it's time to go over this and say, I wonder how to go on that Grams Creek. We don't hear from Grams Creek long time. It's because it came from this puzzle you reminded us. It's a good way to do your research, honestly.
And you guys, you just gave me as you were talking, gave me an idea for another category, at least one category I could add for a future edition. National Heroes of Belize. That's not one in there. I could add that, because then if they're saying for social studies in primary school, that would definitely be one that should be included.
We have Antonio Soberanes, Philip Bolton, George Price, and so on and so forth.
Indeed. What do you hope to gain from this experience of publishing this book?
Money.
There we go.
No, but it's just good to have something left behind as like a sort of a legacy. Everybody wants to know what will they have done to be remembered when they're gone and stuff like that. So this is one thing that I think is nice to have, that keepsake, at least something tangible that I can say, okay, I did this or I made that.
So we're going to be having a giveaway for one of these books. April, what do you have?
So for a giveaway for one of these books, if you have a question that you would like to throw at our virtual audience, first of all, you have to be viewing from the Open Your Eyes Facebook page, which is Open Your Eyes BZ. So if you're not watching us from there, head on there now. And the second question that we have, the second thing now is that we have to have somebody answer this one question. The first person to answer this question correctly on our Facebook Live walks away with one of these books. So I have the question here. It says, what kinds of information about Belize are included in the puzzles? I'll say it again. What kind of information about Belize are included in the puzzle? Now, we were mentioning some of the topics earlier in our conversation, so if you're paying keen attention, you might be able to get the answers. So the first person to answer that question correctly walks away with one of the Belize word search adventure books. Mr. Castillo, any final words for our viewers?
Yes, I would just like to say thank you to my wife for supporting me. Thank you to my daughter, Zakia. If you look in the book, you may notice that on the reverse side of each puzzle, there's a write-up, but if you look closely, you may see under the letters, there's an image.
Yes, I see an iguana for land animals.
And so that was her idea, because while I was making it, I asked her, come here, take a look at this, what do you think? And she was like, the plain text looks too boring. You should add a picture behind it, you know? And so that was, I think, a nice added touch. That was her idea. So I'd like to give her thanks for that.
It's also strategically placed because the item that you see under the text is from the previous topic.
Exactly.
So you still have it fresh in your memory what was the topic before. I like that a lot, actually.
It's good. Right, yeah. So I'm in particular proud of that. Those little particular details that for people to notice, oh, okay, like Isani noticed the iguana was for the land animals puzzle. So each one, the picture relates to that.
So it's a family affair, really, when you think about it.
So I have a 6-year-old son who is starting Infant 2 today, actually. So this will be his social
but you have
studies
to
book
finish
for me.
the page that you start.
I'll do the word puzzles, right? And then I'll just read along with him the actual information.
No, but this is good. This is
a good father-son opportunity moment.
And then he learns about Belize at the same time, which I think is at the end of the day the ultimate goal. But congratulations on this. So for our viewers, one more time, where can they find this and how can they get in touch with you to order their book?
All right, so if you're abroad in the US, UK, anywhere else, you can find it on Amazon. And in Belize, right now, I'm currently out of stock, but I'm taking pre-orders. You can contact me via Facebook, Orin Castillo, O2Rs, Castillo.
Okay. And for our viewers, one more time, that are watching on our Facebook Live at Open Your Eyes BZ, we do have a giveaway. You can walk away with one of these word search adventure books by answering the question, what kind of information about Belize are included in the puzzles? And the first person to answer that question wins one of these books. Orin, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you too for having me.
One more, I forgot to ask you, how much are the books for?
They're currently at 15 Belize.
Okay.
More than affordable.
More than affordable, man. You can walk away with one of these books. But thank you so much for joining us. All right, we take another quick break, and when we come back, it's all about the Francis Reneau R&B concert. You don't want to miss that conversation. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
No Wi-Fi.
You might want to sing it note for note, don't worry.
Yo, bro,
be happy.
Excuse me, class.
In every life we have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Wherever the coastal road takes you, don't worry, be happy. Smart has you covered. Smart, bringing people together.
There's so many different factors which can impact on your digestive system, because there's a very strong connection between your intestinal tract and your central nervous system or your brain. So your digestive system is sometimes referred to as your second brain, your second nervous system, because the connections are very strong between the two, and one can impact it very heavily on the other one.
A message that I want persons to take away is that food is to be enjoyed, but because of the high risk of non-communicable diseases in our region, we're finding that food plays a factor in contributing to that. And if we can start by cutting down even the starchy foods, that makes a difference.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Joining us for this conversation is organizer of the event for the Francis Reneau R&B concert, Karen Vernon. Good morning.
Good morning.
And composer, Mr. Francis Reneau himself.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning. Once again, back for another Francis Reneau concert, and the theme this time is R&B night.
I understand one of Isani's favorite.
Oh, it is his favorite.
I'm already beaming just I hear R&B.
Honestly, that's one of the first things that came to my mind when I saw the theme. I'm like, okay,
Isani,
this one.
yeah.
Yes. But what inspired the R&B theme this year?
More than anything else, something different to do. We've done 60s, 70s, 80s, disco, and now this mainly the 90s, but it's actually 60s to 90s. One or two songs from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's I love R&B myself, even though I don't really listen to pop music that much. Most of the tunes that we are doing, I actually know, but you just hear them from time to time. And some of them, I have to say, were very complicated. The 90s ones, they have a lot of interweaving parts, and
90s was the best era for R&B, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's certainly more in I sometimes lose my words, but it's actually a better sort of music, I think, like you do as well. But all of them are very nice, and I enjoy doing it.
So who are going to be some of the performers and the groups that are going to be participating in this particular R&B edition?
Well, we have the regulars, of course, like Chanel, Nicole Craig, Virginia Perriott, Tremett Perriott. Wilson was with us last year for the first time, I think, so he's back. Ronell Torres, Jael August. Unfortunately, Jackie won't be with us this year. She couldn't make it. And we have a couple of newcomers. Ariana did the choir section with us last year, Ariana Kiros. So she's going to be doing 2 songs. And we have a brand new person from Belmopan. Her name is Kelsey Parham. I'm sure you've heard her sing. Yeah. She'll be doing 2 songs as well.
Nice.
So yeah. And of course we have the band led by Carlos Perote. We have Ellsworth, Delmar Lanza, Philip Codd, Sean Tewis, and Lynn Young in the band. Right. Yeah.
So the word I was looking for was progressive. So I
need to just get that one in there. But how long does it take to prepare for a concert like this?
Well, what happens, obviously, we decide on what we're going to do. And when I go back to England, I don't do it straight away, but I have it in the back of my mind that I have to look up all these songs, almost 28 songs, and trying to decide what to do. This year, because I said 90s was out of my domain, as it were, I asked the singers to choose their song, and then I vetted them and to see whether or not they were good for their voices and things like that. But after that then comes, as you know, I'm actually a pianist, a classical pianist, and I teach as well, so I have a lot of work to do. So that takes, it's some time to do. So I sit down maybe on a Saturday, no, not a Saturday, I work all Saturday. I sit down when I have time, and I gather these songs together, and I just focus on one song, I listen to it. I sometimes add my own backing, but sometimes I want to keep it original because it's so good. And so I have to listen and pick out all the different voices, and I write out the music for each of these voices. And then I have to transpose it into onto my Sibelius system, and then print it all out so that I can have it when I'm here to teach them. And then,
you have it as like sheet music?
Yes, yes, I have it all written out, everything, so that we can't go wrong, or I don't make up things by mistake. But and then of course comes the harrowing task, but wonderful task, of making sure that everyone learns the music.
Gets the note right and everything.
But even before that, I forgot to say that around May, June, I sit at my piano, I have my laptop on here, and I play the music of the particular song, and then I hammer out on my piano the voice part that I want them to sing. Then of course I have to send that off, and most of the times they listen to it by the time I get here, sometimes not so much. And so I have to do it all over again.
So it takes like a year
it's a process
to organize. Wow.
Time.
And for the 90s, which is a very large genre, and there's so many artists and so many songs, and this event itself is going to be featuring some very prominent Belizean singers. How do you know these singers, their vocals and everything?
Oh yes,
so that you
we've
pick
been
this
doing
up?
it for how many years? My goodness me.
For a long time.
You've been doing this for quite some time.
Quite some time.
But
every year a
he
different
knows the
genre.
voices and has an amazing ability to match a song to a voice, which
I know what songs suits which voice. Because otherwise people can sing a song and it doesn't sound quite right. And that's part of the reason it doesn't actually suit the tone of the voice.
He hasn't found a song from years yet. But
that's going to be the next
Now, when I
chapter.
think of the 90s though, I'm thinking like some Tevin Campbell, some New Edition,
Brandy,
there you
Backstreet
go.
Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
Yes, we have
Seal as well.
Well, Backstreet Boys is more pop, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, it falls into R&B as well.
See, that is always my complication when it comes,
over.
because I think of certain songs as like pop music, and I think of certain songs as R&B.
Yes.
So because this is, like you said, it's not a genre that is.
I think the description is that we have very marked bass rhythms and soothing melodies over the top.
When you look at it, there's so much crossover. It goes from soul to R&B to pop. In any direction.
It's a broad. That's one reason I picked it as well, because I could get away with a few things.
So we have some Otis Redding in there as well. Solomon Burke.
There we go.
So
It's
a wide crossover
section.
You must know it all, I think.
Yeah,
he definitely would.
That's my wheelhouse, man.
Oh,
music.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can come and criticize us.
You know, Munalong.
Yes.
We have one of her songs in there as well.
Man.
Yeah.
That's one of my artists right now, though.
There you go.
yes, man. So, date, time, tickets?
This Thursday and Friday, which is September 4th and 5th, at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. We still have tickets available, limited, of course. Tickets are VIP 75, reserve 60, and general 30. And you can get your tickets at the Bliss.
And when?
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. At what time?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. And of course, you split it in two because 28 songs.
Oh, yes.
You have to split it in.
It's far too.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, where can we find the schedule for the lineup?
I will post the QR code later today.
Okay.
But we have programs to give out at the Bliss when you arrive as well.
Awesome.
So that's good.
So there's also a giveaway. So we're giving away 2 tickets, correct?
2 tickets, yes.
What's the question here, April?
Yes. So we have 2 tickets to the Francis Reneau
for Thursday night.
For Thursday night, specifically for this Thursday night. And the question is, name 2 artists that will be performing at the Francis Reneau concert series.
And one musician.
One musician.
Two artists,
one musician. And of course, we were having that discussion earlier, so make sure you are on our Facebook page at Open Your Eyes BZ, and the first person to answer the question correctly walks away with 2 tickets to Thursday night's Francis Reneau R&B night.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to say thank you to both of you for dropping by and giving us this info. What can we look forward to from you when this is over?
Good question. And we've been thinking about it already. I thought I would give the gentlemen or men in the group a chance to excel. We don't have enough men singing. The women have taken it all over.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to find. I'm looking for men. I'm hunting them down. I said to them to try and do maybe the big bands of that from the past. And
well, Tremet is always there.
Tremet is always there.
Yeah. We need a wide group. We have 5 males in this show.
Okay.
It's not that
5
many.
male vocalists.
But all that lovely dancing they used to do and all the fiddling about. I like that whole, and I think just a trip down memory lane would not be bad.
And there was some of that in the show as well. We do have some dance moves.
There's never anything bad or wrong with nostalgia.
No. I agree with you. I think I'll come to you for some help.
Well, I'll consult with some music and some songs and stuff like that.
Can I do our sponsors?
Yes, of course.
Sure, go ahead.
Of course.
So our sponsors are NICH, the National Institute of Culture and History, the Belize Bank, the Belize Electricity Limited, Medisco, BTB, Public Utilities Commission, Angelus Press, Travelers, Currency, and the National Celebrations Commission, and of course Channel 5, Channel 7, and Creme TV.
All right. The Francis Reneau R&B concert starts
Timeless Tunes.
Timeless Tunes. I love a good R&B concert. Begins this Thursday at September 4th and September 5th, 8 p.m. over at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts. You don't want to miss this concert. Honestly, all of his concerts are fantastic. So this R&B night is going to be one for the books. So looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much.
Get your tickets early.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. We take another quick break and we'll be back with more Open Your Eyes. Stay tuned.
Use B-Bucks to purchase items at any Benny's location. Spend B-Bucks on items in-store after you have earned them. You can gift or transfer B-Bucks to another B-Bucks member or registered charity. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Bringing people together.
This September, the music gets louder, the costumes get brighter, and the streets of Belize explode. Color and culture. Greater Belize Media brings you the ultimate carnival experience from lineup to last lap. Join our live coverage on Saturday, September 6th, starting at 1 p.m. from Memorial Park all the way to Marion Jones Stadium. Carnival 2025 marks 50 years of rhythm, resistance, and revelry, and we will bring it to you every step of the way, from lineup to last lap. Carnival 2025 on Greater Belize Media. See you there. See you there.
Oh yo, what's up, bro? Just Western Union moms a little money using DigiWallet. Uncle in the States paid me too, same app using DigiWallet. Bro, this is too easy. I can do this from anywhere. No lines, no hassle, just easy. All right, gotta run, bro. Take it easy.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
This September, the music gets louder, the costumes get brighter, and the streets of Belize explode, color and culture. Greater Belize Media brings you the ultimate carnival experience from lineup to last lap. Join our live coverage on Saturday, September 6th, starting at 1 p.m. from Memorial Park all the way to Marion Jones Stadium. Carnival 2025 marks 50 years of rhythm, resistance, and revelry, and we will bring it to you every step of the way, from lineup to last lap. Carnival 2025 on Greater Belize Media. See you there. See you there.
For 13 years, Belize Bank has helped students rise with full scholarships for high school and sixth form. 100 high schoolers supported for 4 full years. 58 sixth formers given the boost they need to go further.
In Belize, the Belize Bank believes that education is the most powerful investment we can make in our youth.
It's more than financial aid. It's mentorship, supplies, and a commitment to Belize's future. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. This final conversation is all about the upcoming Mayan Cup playoffs. Yes, and we have joining us the CEO of the Belize City Thunderbolts, Mr. Gregory Mogel. Good morning.
Good morning, Belize.
And Victor Evans, who is a player on the Belize City Thunderbolts. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we have a couple of games left before the final game for the Mayan Cup. Let's talk about some of the line items before we get to the actual finals.
Well, so far the regular season has been completed now, and you have two divisions. You have the Mayan Cup division and you have the Toucan Cup division, and those two divisions will be playing best of 3, which is ourselves Thunderbolts going up against Cayo, and the other division will be Griga Dream Ballers going up against San Pedro Tiger Shark, and the champion from both division will be meeting for playing for the Jaguars Championship tournament, which is a #1 position of the tournament itself.
Okay, so where will the games be held this weekend?
Well, it will be our first game because Cayo seeded in the #1 in our division, so we'll be going to Cayo on Friday, and then on Sunday, Cayo will come to Civic Center to play our team, and then in case if there's a third game, which I think there will not be a third game, we go back to Cayo on the 13th, and that will compete for the divisional title.
What has this season been like for you, Vito?
It's been like a wave. It's been ups and downs in it, but we finished strong. We started off fast, hit a little slump, and then we finished really strong. You
were injured at some point during the season too,
yeah,
right?
messed my ankle up a little bit. It's a lot better now. It's not 100%, but it's good enough to where I can get out there and compete at a high level. So it's been some ups and downs, but now we have a lot of momentum coming into this game. I think we've won, 4 straight games, so we've got a lot of momentum going. It's been a good series between us and Kyle all season. We split in the season, so this playoff should be intense. It should be fun.
What has been the feedback from your fans and from stakeholders for this year's basketball season?
Well, I think the support of the fans, as it goes along, it's improved, because we are a new team in the league, and everybody used to the Thunderbolt and the Defenders, but now we are a new team, and people is understanding and accepting that we are representing the city, and so we are climbing gradually, and people are joining us, coming out to support us, and we look forward for more support as we go along.
When you look back at this season and the various teams that are participating in the league, how would you perhaps evaluate it against what basketball was like last year under a different league and a different arrangement?
Honestly, in my opinion, the competition, because last year you had more international imports, the level was high. The level this year is still high because of the local, and we still have international imports, but not as much as last year. So for both competition, the level are basically on par. Because one come down and you have more Belizean this year, but they're on par, and there's a lot of American Belizeans who teams adapted to come in and play. So we still have that international exposure and training and so forth along with that.
It's interesting that this season is kind of winding down as we kick off our September celebrations. Do you intend for next year for the season to kind of be around the same time? Is this going to be the time of the year now?
No, I think there was some kind of, we had a little setback for this year. Normally season usually starts like in February. And in August normally we completed our season. But with all the September celebration, well, we are going to be a part of the September celebration, so definitely it's going to be that way. But I think it will be starting next year a bit earlier, and so that it can finish earlier because of the use of the facility, which is Civic Center in the city, and even some of the Civic Centers in the districts are being used a lot also for activities.
Yes, indeed. So I was kind of wondering how to manage for maneuver those.
It's kind of tough because practice sessions, because all these activities going on in Civic, we have to utilize other places in working out, but we get support from these places in acquiring them, and we have to pay for them, but the team got to practice, so we got.
I think the clash with the tail end of this season and the beginning of September celebrations throws off Vito, because then he will be in Cayo on Friday and can't do with you. And then when he comes in Saturday, he'll probably be too tired and still have to work out.
He going to Carnival. You won't watch him.
I don't know. Well, I think the best bet is that it's good that he won't be looking at the Carnival because he'll be playing on Sunday. So I think I would hope that all the players will want to take a rest on the Carnival and maybe sit back in their couch and just
watch
enjoy the Carnival. You watch it and prepare your mind and game set for the Sunday game at the Civic Center.
So for this Friday that you're playing in Cayo, what time does the game begin?
Normally the games start at 9 o'clock. So the expectation for this game in Cayo will be at 9 o'clock.
And then you have the one on Sunday.
And then we have the one on Sunday, which will be our home game. On Sunday, and
that's also at 9 p.m.
No, that will be
earlier.
at 5 o'clock. Yes, the gates open at 4. Our tickets is on sale from midday, and so we are looking forward for fans to come out. And it's a good time. It's a time that they can be afforded, and that's why we set that time for 5 o'clock, so people can get that rest from the carnival and come and support the Thunderbolts.
And still get home with enough time to get ready for work or school the following
Exactly,
year.
exactly. That is the most important thing, is that we don't want to be in the civic late hours. And people bring their kids a lot to support the Thunderbolts.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we hope that you have a filled stadium court this Sunday, this Friday as well. Where can people purchase tickets?
We'll be selling tickets right at the Civic Center, at the ticket booth. As I said, it starts at midday, and gates open at 4. Tip-off time for the game is at 5, and we'll be having T-shirts on sale, and our T-shirts goes for 15. Hopefully, maybe that day we probably drop it to 10, but we just work on that.
Any final words for your supporters or fans, Vito?
Just come out, support us. We're trying to make this championship run. We got a lot of guys that had great years. Coupe just won the MVP of the league. Matthew Young, he was the rebounder. He led the league in rebounds this year. So we've got a good team, and we're looking to make a run for this championship, and hopefully keep the championship in the city. So, like the last 3 years. So.
Yeah, like the last 3 years. But I understand that you guys have been visiting more districts this season. You've been having more out of the Belize City district games. What has the momentum been like with the fans there?
Well, what they did that last year we had more traveling. At more districts because of the divisional titles now. You travel, but then it's basically to one same district you go to most of the time. We've been a lot to Belmopan and Cayo. And the year before we've been to Griga, we've been to PG, but they are in another division. So that's I think it's something they're going to look at next year to see, and people like to see great teams playing against each other, and the league has improved because there's a lot of improvement in the Cayo team, a lot of improvement in the PG team. So it shows some rising in the entire league itself coming up. So I think it will be far way better, and hopefully there will be more teams who want to participate and get into the tournament for next year.
Yeah, it's very balanced now.
Yeah.
Because Cayo, they made playoffs for the first time in a while. Griga, they made to the second round for the first time in a while. PG made playoffs for the first time ever, I think. So it's balanced out now. Like balance has been restored, as you would say.
That's good.
And then of course we saw new teams being brought into this season. Corozal, yes, and so on. All right. Well,
they understand the semantic of the game itself. So I believe when they come back next year, it will be a different structural team. They will be definitely, because they know what they are going up against now.
How many teams did we have this season?
7.
7. Okay, that definitely balanced out the major parts of the country. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing what happens on Friday, and then of course on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks for having us here, and I like that statement of what happened on Friday. Friday is one understanding. The Thunderbolts will be definitely the champion for Friday, and hopefully we finish it on Sunday, and we don't have any time to travel back to Cayo.
All right.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And of course, we also want to say a big thank you to all of our other guests that stopped by. Of course, please, if you haven't answered any of our questions when it comes to our giveaways from our 2 interviews, be sure to answer those questions in the comment section below. And of course, I want to say a big thank you to you, our viewers, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. It is September 1st, and if it is your birthday today, happy birthday to you from all of us here at OYE. And if you have a birthday shout out or just a question or a comment, drop us a line right here at OYE@channel5belize.com. You can also catch our live stream on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, and check out our highlights on Instagram at OYE Belize. We also have an OYE number where you can call us and text us. That's 675-2555. And please join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
your hearts open.
We'll see you soon, Belize. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.